Unless you've been living under a rock for the last 6 months, you'll have probably noticed that Football Manager 25 has been cancelled. The decision came on the 6th of February after the game had been delayed from its original release date of November 24 to March 25. But the game was ultimately binned. The team told everybody that they'd be shifting attention to their new iteration of the game, which is presumably titled FM26. And what do we know about this game thus far? Not much, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sports Interactive have at least historically made large sweeping changes to the games at intervals of about 5 years on average, which largely advance and improve the game. These can come in the form of either visual changes or additional features. Football Manager 2009 introduced a 3D match engine. This allowed players to watch glorified stick figures instead of circles, with widgets for player performances and match stats. 2014 boasted a whole tactical overhaul. Scouting was largely improved, and the addition of cloud saving allowed players to access the saves from across different devices. 2018 introduced dynamics and saw the addition of squad hierarchies, social groups, and player relationships. You had to adapt your approach to management based on how you would be affecting morale and team cohesion, which, as any Football Manager veteran will tell you now, is a huge part of the game today. 2022 gave us a hugely underutilised by most, but arguably the most technically impressive feature of the game, the Data Hub, an analytics tool that provides in-depth match and player performance data, including heat maps and passing networks, things that are used by top clubs in the real world consistently today. A myriad of smaller features were consistently sprinkled into the game year after year, such as the introduction of the Scouting Hub, agent interactions and transfers, network play, create a club, and even Brexit scenarios. Different theoretical Brexit outcomes affected work permits and foreign player rules in the British leagues. All these advancements made the game feel increasingly more complete. There was always one persistent, glaring thorn in the side of the game, however. Say it with me, everybody. Graphics. When compared to other games of its time, Football Manager looked like it was 20 years out of date. Football Manager 25 was meant to cure this ailment with the introduction of the new Unity graphics engine. This was meant to be to Football Manager what a plane ticket to Turkey is to a balding man. The surgery appeared to be botched, so Sports Interactive slunk off to lick its wounds. Now, I don't feel like the people at Sports Interactive are bad people whatsoever. I feel like this was just too big of a jump too soon. But whosever decision it was at the company, probably a higher up at Sega, to let people pre-order the game when, from the inside at least, that the game was never going to come out is a pretty bad move. Hopefully, it's the good eggs inside the company that are steering the ship now. The past year may have been disastrous for Sports Interactive, and their silence is growing increasingly louder, but maybe we can look at the redemption arc of Hello Games as a potential positive. On the 7th of December 2013, Hello Games announced that they will be releasing a new game called No Man's Sky. The developers promised an effectively infinite universe with 18 quintillion planets, each complete with unique plants, animals, and landscapes that were all procedurally generated. Players could explore planets, star systems, and galaxies without loading screens and with the ability to land on any planet to explore its surface. People were absolutely frothing at the mouth for this game. However, upon release, many felt that the game fell short of these promises. Features like multiplayer were absent, and the universe felt far less dynamic than implied. To cut a very long story short, this outcome was due to significant time pressure from their publisher, Sony Interactive Entertainment. Sony's involvement significantly amplified the game's hype to unrealistic expectations, and the developers had no time to meet these expectations before the deadline. The Hello Games team could have taken the money and ran, and gone on to make other projects, but instead they went radio silent, got their heads down, and worked tirelessly on the game. Over time, Hello Games delivered numerous free updates addressing many initial shortcomings and adding features like base building, multiplayer, and expanded story elements, aligning the game closer to its original vision. There are a lot of parallels that can be taken from both stories. We can only hope that Sports Interactive are doing something similar to Hello Games, and I believe that's exactly what they're doing. Maybe this year-long hiatus from Football Manager can be viewed as a positive in the long term at least, as hopefully other companies can see the shortcomings this year and a new competitor to Football Manager can be born, which can only serve me and you, the customer, well. Since finishing recording the video, I've just learned that there's been leaks regarding in and out possession tactics in Football Manager 26. FM Console did a great video on this, so I'll link him down below. It just goes to show that there's a lot of work being done on the game, even if Sports Interactive aren't coming out and giving us updates all the time. If you've enjoyed that, please try out my other video, like, share and comment, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.